up out there in YouTube land? How y'all doing today? Hey, I want to talk about some junk removal. I want to talk about taking on some tasks that you don't normally take on when you get in these junk removal jobs. But you don't want to pass on the job just because you don't think you can do it. You want to have the confidence, but sometimes that confidence can get us into trouble. Yeah, the customer says, hey, I need you to remove a shed and I need you to take the contents out of it. Can you do it? And then you're like, well, I don't know. I've never taken down a shed before. Can I legally do it? Do I even have the room in my trailer to do it? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to go over a little time lapse of me doing an actual job, and I'm going to talk to you exactly what I did in this job. So I got this call from this customer. He said, I have this shed that's been falling down. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in there. It's been sitting there, been putting it off for a while, but I finally got to the point where the shed's falling down and I don't have a choice anymore. I have to remove it. Can you remove the shed and its contents? Okay. So I'm thinking, so that begs the question. Okay, can I do it? And then how do I price that? Because I know how much that I would price something putting into my trailer. It's just junk. But what about the cost of taking the shed down and the stuff inside, okay? So there's a couple things you need to think about, okay? Where is this shed located? How close is it to the dumpster or the trailer where you're gonna be taking the stuff out? Do you gotta carry it 100 feet each trip? What material is the shed made out of? Usually it's wood, but I mean, like, is a lot harder to take apart? And it all boils down to time. Like, how much time? What size is your team? You know, that's going to be taking that extra 3 hours to do this, or 5 hours to demolish the shed. How much is that going to cost you? Okay, we need to transfer the cost to the customer and make sure that you're transparent enough to let the customer know that this is how much it's going to cost them. That's why. But okay, so pricing is one, so you're not going to be going out of business or getting put in the poorhouse. And then also, can you do it? Not just can you fit it, but also can you legally do it? Okay. So I'm not a lawyer. Okay. I'm not even a subject matter expert. I'm just talking about my research that I've done, my independent research, and my understanding of my legal laws. You'll need to go and look up your laws in your area specifically, and you need to look that up yourself, and you need to be responsible for being on top of this stuff, of what you legally can and can't do with permitting and things of that nature. Okay? Having that said, in my area, under 100 square feet structure that's being used for tools doesn't require a permit. Okay? You go down the road a couple cities, the minimum is 120 square feet. And then some cities sprinkled in there, you need a permit for everything. So, I mean, and it depends what you're taking down. I mean, they usually say, you know, a swing set, or I think a deck, or an above ground pool or something like that you don't need a permit for. But it changes, you know, and then each individual state has their own mandatory set. So you need to make sure that you check your local areas to see what your laws are before you start doing anything, because you're going to get charged a whole bunch of money. You're going to get some trouble that you don't need to be in if you just looked at the law beforehand. Okay. But this one that I'm going to show you on time lapse just happens to be one that I could do. And I knew that because I did the research beforehand. I didn't have to think about it and I have to do a whole bunch of research the night before because I'd already done that. So that's the reason why I'm making this video, is kind of heads up to you guys that are watching this that may not have done this, okay? Not taking this as a legal advice, but taking it as a heads up, like, oh yeah, maybe I need to look into this. So in case I got a customer that needs demolishing, I know what I can and I cannot do. And if it's a big demolishing job, maybe you could sublet it or subcontract it out to an actual demolition company as the permits, all right? So you already have a game plan, so you don't have to keep the customer waiting. You already have a plan for that, okay? So having that said, we talked about the pricing of it also. Just whatever your cost structure is, it is, but take into consideration that all that extra time and depending on the size of your team, and whether or not you got a small container, so you need to make multiple trips. How is that going to affect your costs? And you need to price your job accordingly. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself hating that job because you priced it wrong. Without further ado, I'm going to show you the time lapse of me actually doing this job here in Fort Worth, Texas. And then after the video is done, we'll come back and then we'll talk about some other things.
All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just look up, don't be scared.
Folks, sorry I didn't get to videotape all of that. I wanted to get me cutting up the floors and taking, I got most of the boxes, and I wanted to get like the before and after picture, but my camera died when I was trying to do that. It is what it is, but I got most of it. You saw like I was taking it apart and everything. And the one thing I'll say that I did learn from this one is like I underestimated how long this was going to take. And to be honest with you, the thing that you couldn't see off camera because I had it on time lapse that was taking a long time was the trips back and forth, because it was a very bumpy yard. I had to carry a lot of stuff teetering on a cart, and I had to fit it through. When I went around the corner, I had to fit it through. It was a narrow doorway that I had to fit through every single time, go down a long driveway in order to put it in the dumpster. So that was just taking up so much time. And those are things when you're going to do a bid on a job, if you have the luxury of seeing the path where you're going to be taken, calculate that in as best you can, and also taking into consideration how many workers you're going to have, because you got to times that by however many workers you have. All right. Now, it's obviously going to go faster if you got 5 people as opposed to having 2 people or 1 person. You'll just have to calculate that distance in. Well, I was able to get a couple more jobs done that day and the next day. So I was pretty busy that little 1-2 day period. If you're in the DFW area and you have all this extra junk that you need removed and you don't have the truck or the trailer or the time to mess around with it, you can give us a call here at Dump Shuttle at 817-663-0875, or go visit us on the webpage at www.dumpshuttle.com. And then you can actually schedule services or a free estimate. That's what we do. We do free estimates. We don't charge you unless we take some stuff away. We'll let you know up front what the price is going to be and why the price is what it is. We're very reasonable on our pricing, and we're very flexible on our scheduling. When we come out, we try to accommodate you as much as possible. But thanks for watching today's video, and we'll catch you in the next one.